Hello and welcome back to Neptune's Film. Today's a little bit of a different video. I thought I could go into the forest and look at some trees and diagnose them. Look at them and think, what movies would they watch? So that's what we're going to be doing today. If you don't know, New Zealand has... where am I going? New Zealand has the best forests because, unlike America where there are scary bears and animals, New Zealand is just birds and bugs, and as someone who likes birds and bugs, it's perfect. As you can see, it's autumn right now, so I can show you what that looks like. As you can see, it's very autumny at the moment. All the leaves are falling. Now, me and my sisters went here the other day and there was actually something very cool that I wanted to show. You might recognize this from a particular video game. That is in fact the Slenderman pages from this game and legend called Slenderman. We found another one when we went, so I can show you that when we find it, but I'll keep an eye out for any more, but I'm pretty sure it was just those two. We can go down to the creek that runs through this forest and I can show you that. It's very tranquil. Like, look how long that branch is on that tree. It's very nice. So off we go on our adventure looking for trees and what movies they would watch. Though I enjoy going during the summer months. I feel like it's also nice to come here during winter and autumn because of the rain. It makes the forest smell very nice. Here's this tree. This tree is giving the energy of that one Daniel Radcliffe movie. Insert the poster now that I don't know the name of. Look how thick that branch is. There are lots of bugs here, but more so in real forest. This is more like a park-ish. So you probably won't find anything too crazy in here. You know, just birds. Sometimes it's fun to walk here and pretend you're in either Yellow Jackets or Hunger Games. Either or, choose your pick. Both can be fun. But yeah, very dense shrubland, and it smells very nice because it has been raining. You can understand why someone put those Slenderman pages in here, because I mean, it does kind of look like somewhere he would hang out. It is quite sunny today, but coming here on a very cloudy day does feel quite like Silent Hill. Some Silent Hill vibes. There's another bridge we have to cross. Now, this tree, for no particular reason, reminds me of the hit classic Annie the musical. That's just my personal opinion. I think this tree would love that movie. We're getting to where the second page is located, if it hasn't been taken down, been collected by someone. It is not. This page is still here. I'll take you into the jungle so you can see it in all of its spooky glory. It really does look like a place where you would find Slenderman. Very, very spooky. I don't know who did this or why. Those are the only two me and my sisters could find, but it's very spooky and eerie. But yeah, do love it. Love a bit of spooky vibes. Does it smell of an illegal substance that some smoke? Yes, it does. I think there have been some hooligans here at play, some tomfoolery at play. That's okay. Each to their own. I suppose the forest is a great place for that. Maybe Slenderman was joining them. I don't know. Here we have a very, very tall tree that we can't even see the top of. Incredibly large. These trees, there's another one here and here. I feel like they would be fans of Avengers Endgame. Really specific. That is the energy that I'm getting from them. Here we have a gaggle of trees. A posse, one might say. I think these trees would be a fan of the substance because, well, there are many copies of them. They don't look exactly the same, as you can see. This one is slightly slanted. Interesting. Much like the substance, the copies, they're the same, but look slightly different. There is one perfect one here. I'm not sure which one it is. I can't judge the trees like that. That's not my job. Me and my sisters always say that these trees look like they have eyes on them. If you can see here, I feel like these trees would really love the 2013 Evil Dead remake. I just really get that energy. Maybe it's just because they remind me of the woods, which are in the Evil Dead movie, but specifically the 2013 remake. We have made it to the open area, of which I literally almost just tripped on that route. Well, I did trip on it. Where there are lots and lots of trees. So many possibilities for what movies they could watch, don't you think? If you look closely, you can see some leaves falling. True autumn fashion. It's very quiet here, and I feel like I'm disrupting the peace, but I feel like these trees probably really are glad that I'm talking about movies with them. This tree here reminds me of something maybe from Avatar. My sister says that it looks like the tree is crying or is raining, which I think is pretty cool. Yeah, maybe Avatar, a little bit, like kind of like an alien plant growing. Look at this. This is a fantail. Oh god. This bird is a fantail. I believe native to New Zealand. It's called a fantail because it looks like it has a fan for a tail. Fun fact. Really ingenuity when naming birds. This tree would totally vibe with Bruchiterabithia, starring Josh Hutcherson. I mean, that really is just a Bruchiterabithia tree. Definitely. The fantail is literally following me. Hello? It must have a message of sorts to say. I'm not even joking, it's literally following me. Literally gonna trip. This is this tree now. Quite insane. I've never had that happen before. It's still following me. Maybe I just look awfully like a tree, or maybe a worm. Either one could be true. I really like this tree because it looks like it's got its arms up. Don't you agree? He agrees. Very silly, but very, very, very large. Large and in charge, as they say. Perhaps this is a family member of Groot, some might say. Would you agree? Oh, maybe not. This is, in fact, a stage where all of the animals, birds and bugs of the forest perform to each other. In case you didn't know, we have now reached the Christmas trees. The elves in the forest actually decorate these every year. I don't really know where they store the decorations throughout all the other months. Scientists have not yet figured that one out, but it's really great when it happens. All of these are yellow. Great documentation going on here, guys. The leaves are yellow. When I was here with my sister the other day, I was talking about the new Final Destination movie. I was talking about the scene where, with the MRI machine, if you know, you know. Great scene. And I said, do you think this is the first time these trees have heard about the new Final Destination movie? Could possibly be the case. Do they know that it's a pretty good movie? Well, now they do. And I did tell them my official ranking of the franchise. My official ranking goes Final Destination 1, because it's classic, then 3, then Bloodlines, then 2, then 5, then 4. That's my ranking. I could make another video talking more about that, just Final Destination as a franchise. I could absolutely do that, because I feel like I could talk about Final Destination for a while, and I think the trees would maybe get sick of it if I kept talking about it for a long time. I think this tree here would be a fan of Love Actually, because it's perfect Christmas tree. It's not actually a Christmas tree, like, I'm not good with tree names. A pine tree is a normal Christmas tree, I think. It doesn't smell like a Christmas tree, but maybe it's like a relative of the pine family. Me when I'm Dipper and Mabel. It's kind of sad seeing everyone in the UK, well yes, the Northern Hemisphere start to go into the summer months and enjoy spring. Whereas here, it's just getting colder and colder every day. And as you can see, barely any leaves on the trees anymore. Technically, June is the start of winter. Very sad, but I'm trying to embrace the change. Embrace winter. I just love it so much. I stand corrected. This is a very much Bridge to Terabithia fallen tree. You actually can cross it, but I do not wish to tempt fate today. Not so shortly after I have seen the new Final Destination movie. I just don't think I need to tempt that. You know? I'm fine. Can you believe that this exists in the same world as Elon Musk? It doesn't really make sense. This here looks like a very spooky tree. I feel like this tree would definitely have some a a Slenderman page on it, but sadly it does not. But I think this tree would be a huge fan of maybe A Nightmare Before Christmas, or I was also thinking Hocus Pocus. I mean, just like a classic spooky tree and a classic spooky movie. This tree, as you can see, this section here, it looks as if it's been like someone tried to chop it down with a chainsaw, but I don't know if you can tell, this tree is literally huge. I definitely think it would enjoy Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but I don't know if that's too on the nose. I'm sorry if it is. I think he would really relate to Tyrion Lannister from Game of Thrones in about season, I think, 3. That's when he gets his face sliced. Very much resembling Tyrion. I'll now show you one of my favorite trees. I think it is a redwood. I could be wrong because I'm not an ecologist. I did just trip again. It's very lovely, huge, and I will video it for you now. This tree here goes all the way up. I think it's a redwood because there's this chunk of bark. What would you call it? The trunk before the pine needles or needles start. It's very nice. I'm now about to show you the most impressive tree that we'll probably see today. Actually, ginormous, very old, and very spooky looking. So if I feel like this video has a very spooky theme to it, with it being autumn and also Slenderman around. If you do see him in the background, feel free to comment, let me know, because I haven't seen him, but that doesn't mean he's not there. This tree is literally huge. It's quite impossible to actually put into words. I think this tree would really enjoy the Blair Witch Project for no particular reason. It just looks like a very spooky, haunted tree. I can show you its size in comparison to me. I am 5'5", so I mean, might not do it that much justice. For reference, this is me standing next to it. I don't know if you could actually see me. I think this is the exact same fantail as we saw earlier. Is this a family member reincarnated? Please let me know, because I think it might be. I feel like I'm in Over the Garden Wall. Melanie Lynskey plays a character who is a bird who follows around the main characters. This might be Melanie Lynskey. Perhaps. If you can hear any noise that sounds like machinery, it's because they're cutting some of the trees down around here. I'm in two minds about how I feel about that. I'm reading a book right now called Braiding Sweetgrass. Highly recommend. The author talks about how by picking the sweetgrass, it helps it grow because it allows it to have more sunlight and not compete for space, and so it can continue to grow. Whereas if you left it, it wouldn't be able to grow as much because, you know, there would be too much there. It's sort of the vibe of taking what you need, but not taking so much that it goes extinct. If these trees are being cut down for that reason, totally get it, that's super cool. But I find it kind of sad whenever they cut trees down. Like in town, they cut these trees down, or parts of these trees down, because birds would go in them and then shit on everyone's cars. And I feel bad because the birds, that's their home. They're just going to move to a different tree, but I don't know. So I'm hoping they're cutting the trees down for growth of new ones or for proactive reasons, but I don't actually know. Who's to say? This tree here, it literally goes, hold on, maybe it'll be better if I go around here. I think this tree would be a fan of Mean Girls, the movie, the musical, because it's a little strange, a bit abnormal taste, but I still respect it. A couple of great songs in that movie musical, but I think that tree would really vibe with that. We are now coming up on the tree that looks exactly like me. It's quite jarring. You might see this tree and be like, which one's the human, which one's the tree? So if you do get a bit disoriented, that's totally normal. I get that a lot. You'll see in a minute why it resembles me so much. Here we go. All the needles on the ground. It's because we're both ginger. And I'm glad that there are some trees in nature that are also ginger. It's really nice to have this representation, ginger representation. It does mean a lot to me, I will say. And I did wear brown, so I blend not only into the bark of the tree, but also the needles with my hair. I did coordinate that specifically to show you. This tree here would absolutely love the Fire of Love documentary because it's perfect and beautiful and incredible. And I think this tree could very much relate to that documentary, because that documentary are all those things as well. Can you believe this? All of its leaves haven't dropped yet, but I suspect in the coming weeks and months they will. So it's very great that we're here specifically at this time. So if Slenderman was going to be anywhere, he would definitely be sort of in here, or maybe up here somewhere. So keep your eyes peeled for him, because he might be around. I actually might need to stop talking about that because I might scare myself, actually. You know, apparently he appears, he likes to torment people. If they fear him, he loves that. So what if instead I say that I think he's really cool and stylish? What then? Would he be so... I would warm his heart, much like the Grinch. And then he can't hurt me, because I'm just so chill. I have to say, sadly, this is the end of the video. We've seen many trees and communicated with them, and now understand a lot of their favorite movies. Currently by the lake, very peaceful. The lake, it's a creek. But yes, feel free to leave a comment if you have seen any trees ever, and what their favorite movie is, and let me know if you saw Slenderman in these forests, because he might be there. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. When that is, I do not know. Perhaps it's soon, but I'll see you then. So goodbye.